Okay. And I am live. Hello, guys. Okay. Unsupported resolution. Why does it keep doing this? Why does it not like me? So, I don't know. We'll figure it out as the day goes on. Let me see if I'm currently live, though. Should be. And I am. Okay. Welcome to the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. And tonight, we're going to talk about a couple different things. First of all, if you haven't already, and you do have a Twitter, and I should probably shut that off. Hold on. Because I have my Telegram open. I don't think it... As long as I just shut it off like that. Okay. Didn't realize that. Okay. So, hello. Hello, guys. How are you? I am doing great. We are here, and we are going to talk today about having the con blues. Also, what we're going to be doing, if everything is still working right, I don't know why. Why does it say unsupported revolution? I don't know. That's just weird to me. So, it's 8 o'clock, I think. Well, it's not 7:59. Whatever. So, okay, guys. If you haven't done already, I want you to go down and go to my Twitter page. You know, retweet that tweet that I have out there. It says free raffle giveaway. And if you do that, you have a chance to win free art. I have a bowl full of all the names that retweeted it and started to follow me on Twitter. And I will add you in if you enter. So all through the night, I'll remind you. And we will be taking phone calls tonight. And we will be talking about something that is really hitting me on a hard note. And hopefully it's not hitting you guys as bad as I am. It is really hitting me because I really enjoy a con that's coming up, MFF. If you do not know what MFF is, where are you? Are you under a rock? Please make sure to get underneath that, get out of that rock and start to live your life, because that's how it works. So, if you are liking this and you want to share it around with your friends, I'd be highly appreciative of that too. So, now, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Well, it is 8 o'clock officially. So, we are going to talk about the con blues. When the con blues, in my opinion, is basically you can't go to a con, so you're stuck at home. And being stuck at home sucks, especially if all your friends are attending. You can't go, but all your friends are going. You're stuck here, being bored, being sad, being lonely. And then you wish that you were there. So I'm going to try to get you some tips to maybe cut that down a little bit and maybe make it a happy experience that you're not going there. So, I know me not being able to go to MFF, I am kind of sad. So, it's going to be hard to talk about it, but I'm going to have to get through it because MFF is my favorite con, and unfortunately, I can't go to it. So, now, if you've never experienced a con, maybe this will help you, you know, get the destiny to go to a convention one day and maybe make it the best time of your life, because conventions are very fun. And I feel like everyone should be able to go to one or two of them or three of them or four of them. And, you know, the list goes on and on. So, so now I'll be talking about con blues, taking your phone calls. I'll open up the phone lines here in 2 minutes. And then also I will be getting to your raffles. Again, I have Twitter down in the descriptions. Please make sure to follow me, retweet that one I did. You can retweet the one I just posted. and you will be entered for a chance to win free art. So, yay. Okay. Now, let's see if we have any comments. I retweeted it. Yay! Okay, so I will add you onto the list as soon as I get to the other things. Okay, now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to start out in steps. Okay, so whenever I can't go to a convention, I always start out feeling terrible. And that's what it's called, con blues. I can't seem to, you know, get up in the morning and be like, yay, I'm here while everybody else is at MFF or another convention. Oh. So my very first step of it is sadness, because it's like, why can't I be there? Why can't I be there? So I always have the problem of looking at this thing. I mean, everyone has this now, and it's in your hand. So what do? The stupid part about my life is I go onto Twitter. I'm looking onto Twitter right now, and I'm seeing a bunch of MFF photos, and it just makes me more sad. It makes me feel like I'm not part of the adventure of MFF. So I'm going through my day, looking at my phone. I'm also, you know, thinking about it. I'm kind of like going, why can't I just go? But, so, I always feel sad. That's stage one. Stage two is it's kind of like that old saying, but I don't have like the same exact things. I kind of get a little mad because I'm like, oh, I should be there. I should be there. I want to attend the con. I just want to attend the con. So I kind of get a little bit angry, and then I try not to express that to other people, which you don't want to, but that's my second step. Then the third step is basically like, okay, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to get here by groping, moaning, sadness, depression, anxiety, all this other stuff. So those are my third steps. Maybe you guys have different steps out there. That's just my 3 steps. And I realized it at AC this year because I couldn't go to Anthrocon. And I was like, boy, I have all these steps that are terrible that I need to like express my emotions. So here's some tips on not feeling sad while everybody else is at a con. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do, if you really wanted to attend this con, you were planning on attending it, and then all of a sudden it turned out that you couldn't go, I want you not to look at your social media. Now, doesn't mean you can't tweet or anything like that, but try not to scroll too much. You know, have a segment. I always call it segments, because whenever you scroll like the very first time, and then you're seeing all these photos, and you're like, why? I am so sad. I'm looking at these photos, and it's making me even more sad. So, hopefully everything is going good with the stream. It is. So, what I try to do is I try to just take this and throw it away. I just get rid of it. I do not look at social media. Okay, number 2 step that you could do for getting over the con blues because you couldn't attend is that you can just say to yourself, I'm glad that everyone else is having a fun time. That's a good way to do it, because if you grovel and get all sad and start crying, well, who's that going to help? That's going to help nobody. You know who that's going to help? Nobody. Is you going to help your self-esteem? No. It's not going to help anybody. So here's what you got to do. You just need to relax and go, I'm happy that they're there. So if you do see a tweet, and if you feel comfortable, be like, I'm so happy that you're there. I couldn't make it this year. And if you're not crying halfway through that sentence, well then, that's good. You win. So, because it does kind of feel sad whenever all your friends go away, but you can't go. So, a couple con blues that I have and stuff like that. So let's open up that phone line, guys, and let's get some callers in here. The phone number is 717-839-3684. Let me type that down in the comments here, and we will go to the comments here, and maybe I'll read some of your comments because I didn't realize I had comments. 717-839-3684. There you go. You can call me, give me a call. You know, we could talk about your con sadness, or maybe if you would like to attend to a con, or, you know, what are some experiences you had at conventions. It's a very good way to do it, and it will help you guys out in the long run. So, let's see. How was your Thanksgiving? My Thanksgiving was fantastic. I enjoy Thanksgiving. Now, yeah, I enjoy Thanksgiving. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I'm a person who could eat, and still be happy. But don't do that, because then you'll get a big stomach and then you'll end up feeling ill. Because I did that. I ate so much during Thanksgiving that I felt ill and I didn't want to eat anything the day after. So, yay to overstuffing. Okay. Also, I apologize for not being able to do the 4 days of Thanksgiving. I know I was scheduled to do that, but unfortunately, the cooking really took most of my time. I had to do so much prepping. But okay, somebody's calling in. Let's answer that, and we will answer the phone call. Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, Dashing?
Hi.
It's me, Alvera.
Hi,
Candy corn doggo.
Hi, Alvera. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. And, wow, yeah, this is a great topic when it comes to conblues. You know, MFS, I mean, geez, every one of my friends and their brother has gone there, but I never had, and I'm so jealous. And the first time I heard about this convention was actually last year, where my friend's like, oh, well, I had a fun weekend. I'm like, oh, that's nice. What'd you do? He's like, yeah, I was at a convention. And I was like, wait, what? You were where now? He's like, yeah, I went to MFF. I didn't even know. And I'm like, what the heck is MFF? And for me, it's so far away. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess maybe we could have gone together. So that was kind of upsetting.
So, yeah, no, it really is sad whenever you can't go to a convention. I mean, it literally makes you just feel...
Yeah.
It
right. Well, the thing is, I didn't even know this con existed until he told me about it, and that he had already been there. And I was like, oh, I guess I have to wait until next year. But then when I realized how far away MFF was from me, I realized, well, you know, I would have to book a flight, and it's just not feasible at this point in my life to go. Which is, you know, a bummer. But I know a lot of friends are going, and hopefully they have a fun time.
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I went to MFF for the last since 2015, so this would have been like my 4th year going, and
oh wow,
yeah,
wow.
So for me to skip this is kind of like oh man, I can't go, and I've been waiting for so long, and you know, and
especially because it's your favorite con too.
Oh, to tell you the truth, if anybody out there ever gets the chance to go to MFF, just go. Don't think about it. Just go. I mean, if you've ever been to AC, it's a lot better than AC, in my opinion. I mean, there might be people out there who are going, I disagree with that, and then later, you know. But the one thing about MFF, it really, it's the biggest con in the world now, but it feels like a local con. It really is more personable. A lot of people more talk to each other. It's a lot less than spread out, and it's the one thing I hate about AC is just how spread out it is. But it's a very fun con, and yeah. So do you have any times where you couldn't go to a con because of this problem? Like, I know you said MFF, but have you ever were like, oh, I'm going to a con, and all of a sudden you had to back out for no apparent reason, or had to do it because of money situation?
I suppose that could be FWA this year. because I went to FWA, I believe last year in 2017, but this year I couldn't go because the person I was supposed to be rooming with, he decided to leave the fandom, and it was a whole big thing. And I was like, oh goodness, and I was supposed to room with you, and now what? And then by that time it was too late,
Yeah.
And it was kind of upsetting, I would have liked to have gone to that, but he had his reasons and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone has their reasons for, leaving the fandom.
And also, yeah, I guess another one would be FAU, because I went to FAU, for I think 3 or 4 times until they moved out of state.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't go to that one either, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to drive that far just to go to this, smaller type convention. It's something I used to love going to, because it was pretty close to me at the time, but now that they moved a couple years ago, I'm like, it's too much of a hassle to really go out there and do it.
So, yeah, no, it's a really sad topic, but it's a very true topic, because a lot of people like you and, anyone has planned to go to a convention, and all of a sudden they had to back out for, maybe a new job, a new, maybe relocating, having to move, and then you're like, oh man, now I can't go to it. And it's always a bad feeling too, because you're like, I've been excited for this for the last 2, 3, maybe even a year, and then all of a sudden your plans change and you go, well, now I can't go, and now I just feel depressed and sad, and it really does.
I mean,
yeah.
Thankfully, it hasn't really been in that much of a situation. I guess up into the point where I had already paid for a room and already paid for such transportation and stuff. Thankfully, I didn't actually pay for anything before I realized I couldn't go to these things.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other issue in itself. Because, if you already invest in a room and, you're spending hundreds of dollars on a hotel room, it's and then all of a sudden you can't go, it's well, now what? What do you do then?
Well, actually, that was one of my things that I'm going to be doing tonight. I'll be talking all about that. So, hopefully...
Okay, well, that's a nice segue.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for making my segue, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and tune in for the end of this show, and we'll definitely have that. We'll definitely have the contest at the very end. So it's on Twitter. So
all right, great.
Yeah.
Oh, I shall. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
See you later, and have a great night, and have a dashing night too. So. And thank you,
buddy.
And thank you for your stories. Okay. And see, to tell you the truth, like him, and I'll get to your comments in a second. I'll read them, and we'll keep moving on with that. But we're going to talk all about the money situation. If you've already paid for a room, what are some tips that might you be able to save that? I do have some tips here that maybe, for some reason you've already put a down payment on, and now you can't go because, your dog died, or some sort of tragedy happened, or any sort of thing that might have happened. So let me read your comments here, and then we'll keep moving on with this conblues. There you go. Okay, so let's see. How is everyone? I'm doing great. Thank you for noticing. Let's see. Doing all right. Enjoying Philadelphia. Was an Oaktown. Okay, not really too many different ones. Oh, hi, Max. Hi, Max. Nice seeing you, Max. And I hope the con, once it gets started, more money. And my art is a prize. Yes, his art is a prize. So if he wants to call into this show, he can definitely call into this show. And I will be happy to, get a person who's doing your art for it. Again, thank you. I appreciate you calling in there, Ave. I'm just going to call you Ave. I like that. Okay. I like abbreviating names. So I apologize if I make you feel uncomfortable. Just saying, don't call me that. Okay. So now, again, my phone line is open, and you just heard a caller. So we're going to take more calls all through the night. So if you want to call in, don't be shy. We'll take them. So now to his point. Okay. Now, I have been in this situation before, that where I've paid for my room, I paid for the con, you know, like the registration and stuff like that. That's why I don't do that anymore until the con. Shh, that's a secret that I have. I don't do it until I actually know I'm going to the con. So at that point, I'm pretty sure it was oh shoot, MCFC. I was supposed to go there 2015. And then all this stuff just threw everything into the woodshed. My car ended up having to get like a whole new starter for it, which was like $300. And then I got like some other sort of bill too. I can't remember. I think it was like an electric bill. And then I was like, oh no, I can't go. I mean, I don't have any funds. I mean, if I go to it, I'll have fun, but I won't have any funds. And don't go to a con if you're sleeping out of your car. I'm not going to recommend that for anyone. Because if you go to a con sleeping in your car, that is disgusting. I'm sorry. Unless if you have a place that you can like shower every night, but still, that is kind of disgusting. If you already planned for this trip and then all of a sudden you can't go because of money or anything, don't go. Don't do it. Just stay at home, relax, and just sit there. So here's what I did for that situation. I end up taking that $100 and I said, I went into a group chat of all my friends that were going to MCFC. And I said, is anybody still looking for a room? So they were like, yeah, we're looking for a room. We just can't seem to find a double. Luckily, I had a double because I was going to room with other people, but they kind of all backed out and went their own direction. So what happened was, when I tweeted that person, or I think it was a tweet, yeah, it was a direct message. And what I said was, okay, I have a double room. I paid $100 for it. If you give me the $100, I'll give you the room, and then you basically don't have to pay the $100 because, you know, they already paid me the $100, and then I'm just transferring them the room. So I did that. I ended up getting my $100 back, which was a fantastic thing. And MCFC is a very fun con. Now for the situation that when I registered for a con, and that's why I do not register for cons anymore. And I know sometimes it might take 3 hours, 4 hours to register at MFF, but I'm not doing that anymore because after that whole entire fiasco, I had to call them. So I first emailed them and I was like, hey, I can't make it to MCFC. Is there any way that you can either give me my money back or put it towards next year? No response. Okay, so I was like, okay, I gave it a week. And then after that, I ended up messaging them again. And then they were like, oh, sorry, you got a call. So I was like, okay, I'll call. So I kept calling the same guy, and I felt really bad because I left like 4 or 5 different messages on their machine. Because I was really determined to get my like $55 back or like transfer to a next year. And I finally did it, thankfully. But like after 4 or 5 times of calling, and then I finally got it back, but it was just transferred to the next year, and then I ended up going that year. So there is ways to actually get your money back whenever you're going to these conventions. I mean, especially MFF, you know that you can't go and you've already booked the room, and maybe you don't have anybody rooming with you. You know, maybe, you can try to just put it on to somebody else who's actually going towards the room, and then you could be like, hey, if you pay me $100, I'll just give you the room, and then you could just take it, and then you guys can share it 4 ways, and then maybe find another person. So there's plenty of different ways of not wasting your money whenever you go to a convention. It takes a little bit of time, and especially if you're like a week away and then you realize you can't go, that might be the only time that you really can't get your money back. I'm sorry. You were to the point where it's too far into it. Unless if it's MFF or a con that's really demanding on rooms, you're probably not going to get your money back. And I'm sorry, but it's a true but sad story. So just be very cautious if you are going to get a room, and just be very cautious if you're registering, because registering is a pain in the butt. If trying to go through all that process, I'm not saying it's their fault. It's probably not their fault. It's just they're going through chain of command, and I had to call, and just terrible. So just be mindful whenever you are doing something like that. Just be mindful. Be like, hey, okay, I know I'm going to go to a convention, and I know I've already took time off work, and I took all that other stuff. So just be mindful of that. That's why I always register at the door. I know it's a stupid thing sometimes, waiting for 3 hours, but that's why I always register at the door. So, now guys, I'm still opening up the phone lines. My phone lines are still open. The phone number is 1-717-839-3684. You guys can call in. I'll put that on the thing here. 1-717-839-3684. You guys can call in. Give me your experiences. I want to hear some more experiences that maybe you couldn't get your money back, but you know, or maybe anything like that. So give me a call. We'll definitely talk. It's the United States, so there. Also too, reminder guys, if you go down to my Twitter, retweet, I want to say it's the free giveaway thing. You'll have a chance to win a free piece of art. So yeah. Okay, now talking about conblues too. Now conblues just doesn't hit you whenever you, okay, so here's another example of conblues. So you're walking in your house and your best friend texted you. Now I've got this this year at AC, and one of my friends on here texted me saying, "Can I see you at AC?" Oh my God. You know, that is like a heartfelt moment whenever you know somebody really wants to meet you and somebody wants to really see you because they haven't seen you in such a long time. And that one you really can't get out of. I mean, I guess you can just ignore the tweet, ignore the text, and just like leave it alone, but it's still, you're not going to be rude to your best friend. So that's probably another conblue here. So a lot of conblues stories that I could definitely have. I know for the next year I'm not going to cons. I'm cutting myself from cons, and it's going to be really hard because I really like going to conventions. You probably like going to conventions too. So another informational tidbit for going to conventions. Also, if you're rooming with somebody and you know you're rooming with somebody, don't be that guy and you know you can't go. It's been a month since you know you can't go. Or it's been like 3 weeks. As soon as you learn when you cannot go to this convention, just text them, call them, do something. Don't be that jerk who waits until like 2 days before and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I can't go. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I could have been trying to fill the room all this time because John or Joe or whoever you are just said at the last minute, I can't go. And that's the worst thing that you can possibly get when you're doing a room share. Because a room share is all dependent on the people that you have around you. So let's say if John is expected to go and I'm expecting him to pay half, and you know Jerry too is expecting to go with, we're going with a three-way deposit. So we're going to pay, everybody's going to pay, I'm going to pay the full room price, but everyone's going to give me money for it. So let's say if 2 days before the con, John decides, oh yeah, by the way, I can't go. I kind of figured out like a month ago I don't have the funds for it. Okay, so that's the worst kind of person, because now since John's gone, that leaves me and the other person to cut the slack for that person. So that's a really expensive thing to do. Especially at like MFF Or, well, MFF isn't a good example because you can find another person to sub that room because there'll be somebody else who had a problem or something. Not a good example. But I'll give you a perfect example. I actually went. It was me, my friend. Well, his name's Wonder Dog. He used to be my producer on the show. If you went back that far, press that like button because I appreciate it. So, my old roommate used to be Wonder Dog, and we were supposed to have him, my friend, and another person. So, we were all going to pay the $200 to stay in the hotel. That's what I agreed. That's what the other person agreed. I think he was a raccoon or something. So we're all in agreement. And this guy, okay, it's like a week before the convention. And I still remember this because this would really tick me off. And it ticked my old roommate Wonder off. He like just goes, nah, I'm good. I don't really want to go anymore. You know, and this was like literally 2 days beforehand. And he said that he didn't want to go like within a month. So we're getting all this. So the problem with Wonder, okay, so he was the payer of the room. I already agreed to pay $200. So that's what he's going to charge me, unless if he goes back and says, oh, I have to charge you $400 to make up for that. Well, too bad. I mean, I already had a visible agreement with him. Now, is it nice to be like, yeah, I can pay that? Yeah, definitely. But 9 chances out of 10, your roommate is not going to do that. They're going to go with that original agreement that you put on the table. So, I mean, I couldn't do it because I budget my money enough so I can actually go to the convention. So I kind of felt bad, and I gave him an extra couple bucks here and there just to help him out, you know, while the time was going. But don't be that person at the last minute and just call in and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I can't go. It doesn't work out for anyone. It doesn't work out for you. It doesn't work out for the room. It doesn't work out. So just do not be that guy. Also, too, don't be the person if you are agreeing to go and you are going to get the con blues. And, you know, don't be the person that just, he goes to the convention, he feels left out or anything. I've actually had this happen to one of my friends. He felt left out, and after a day, he left the convention, never paid. And it's like, okay, you at least, whenever you're doing a convention, like, let's say MFF, or let's say some other sort of different one, you have to put in a budget. Everyone has a budget. I'm going to do a budget for the con soon. It's going to be a whole budget episode, and I'm going to do a lot of research. I've actually been doing research once in a while for it. But so if somebody just leaves you and, you know, gets the con's blues because they're there and they feel left out and crying, you have to pay a day. I mean, you've already stayed one night. You have to pay a day for that one night. Don't be a jerk. Don't just leave and don't tell anyone, because you know what that's going to do? That's going to get you on a... I've learned this, too. That the con blues always happens to the person who creates the drama. So, let's say if Jimmy or John, the person that did later, ends up going, I don't want to be at this con. I hate my life. This is awful. Nobody's talking to me. So, he ends up just leaving and going. So, that's going to eventually create a ripple of, oh man, that guy didn't pay me. Now I'm stuck here spending the room by myself or with like 2 other people that can barely afford it, you know, because they put it in their budget that he was going to pay. So don't be that guy. If you're feeling disappointed about the con or feeling anything about the con, just say, you know what, I want to leave because I'm not feeling this con. I'm not having a good time. So I'm going to leave, but at least pay you a night. So don't be that guy. I've known people like that. You know, and I've had that happen to me, especially going to MFF. My very first MFF, this is a true story. So I was on a drive with somebody else, and it was 2 people. It was me and a person I'm not going to name because I don't want to get names. So we were driving to it, and all of a sudden, the person's like, "Oh, I don't want to ride in this anymore. I got to go home. My best friend was dying," which I think was a bunch of hoopla. So Because I'll keep going with the story. But so I was in the car with them, and we were driving, and all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, I don't want to be here." So she said, "Drop me off at the nearest hotel." So I dropped her off at the nearest hotel, and she didn't want to pay for my expenses of driving. And driving to MFF is expensive, okay? Especially when you have a car that doesn't get the mileage, it's expensive. So I forced her to pay. I felt bad, but in the same aspect, I realized I'm not going to be able to get home if she doesn't pay me. I mean, I'm going to get there. Yeah, I mean, getting there is the fun part. But at the end of it, I'll be driving back going, "Oh man, I don't have any money." So don't be that person. Just, if you're not having a good time, let the person know. Let them know ASAP, so you're not going to be here and crying about it and, you know, doing all that stuff. Sorry to get on that rant. I just had to say that because that person really, like, made me upset. Because I almost fell asleep on the road because I needed that extra person to talk to. So, okay, let's get back on the topic of the conblues. So, before that, I want to mention, go to my Twitter. You can retweet one of my things. It should say free art retweet. If you retweet it, you can get a chance to win free art. I have all the names here for the free art. I will be picking it at the end. You're still not over. So you can go down there, retweet it, and then I'll get you in. So, and if you do want to call in, my phone number is 1717-839-3684. Let's read some of these comments. I've been seeing them go down, so let's read some of these comments and see if we have any comments for this. So, I drink at room parties, at cons, only at a certain point. Okay. So, let's see. MFF, Midwest Fur Fest, I honestly don't know. I'm sorry that you don't know about Midwest Fur Fest. Get out of underneath that rock. Somewhere in... Okay, so, now, as we continue on with the conblues, we have to realize, too, that the conblues, like I said, that person, the conblues can actually hit you at the convention, too. So, let's say if I'm a new person at the convention, I don't know anybody, I don't know a single person at this convention. It's going to be tough for me to get over my anxiety to be like, "Hey, I can go talk to people now," and then dance and go, "Yay, I'm talking to people, high five." Now, conblues, when it hits you like that, when you realize you're at a convention, number one, don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't start yelling at people because you're not getting your way and your convention's not going how you've always wanted it, or blah, 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 blah. So, don't start this whole entire, you know, sadness tour of, "I hate my life, this con sucks." Okay, so here's what I do. I mean, I've had these conventions. I think everybody's had these conventions. That where nobody talks to you and you just go around looking like a loner. So, the very first step is, if you have a friend at the con, get them there to your room ASAP. Just talk it out. You know, it's better to talk it out than cry it out. In my opinion, in the experience of conventions I went to, if you talk it out, it's less of a drama and less of, you know, people getting mad at you because you're just a guy in the corner crying. That's number one. Number two is you have to realize that, you know, just relax. Take a deep breath. If you've done, I don't know, I do this a lot. Whenever I'm doing anything and I feel depressed, I take a step back and I just try to calm myself. You know, calm it. Not everybody's out to get me. Not everybody's out to get me. That's exactly what I say to myself. I sound like a loser for saying it, but it really helps. Because in your mind, when you have anxiety like me, I have some pretty harsh anxiety. I start getting in my mind, "Oh no, it's gonna happen." I mean, I have nobody, I get, and see, this is exactly what I do. I freeze up, I start to, you know, panic. So, just step back, calm it down. Not everybody is against you, and just because they're not talking to you, doesn't mean that they have they're the same exact person as you. They're nervous too. That's why whenever I'm at conventions and I'm in my suit, I always try to find a person in the corner, because that person I know is having problems with their anxiety, or they're thinking to themselves that, you know, hey, I can't seem to get it going. You know, maybe if I had somebody to talk to, maybe if I had something like that. So con blues can hit you in anxiety, depression, stuff like that. Now, another form of con blues is you couldn't talk to somebody you've been really wanting to talk to, and then by like close to the mid-con, you're like, I'm going to realize that I can't really talk to this person because I'm having... So, cons are different, okay? So, con blues hit you, like, because... I'm trying to give a good example of this. Give me a second. Let me think of a good example before I just talk out of my butt. Okay, I got it. So, let's say you're having a really depressed time, and your friend wants to cheer you up, okay? Now, everybody at this convention already has plans. They're excited, they're ready to go, they're accelerant, they're running to the panels, they're doing all this. So, you're in the middle of it, and you're texting your friend saying, where is he? He's busy. So, you get more depressed. I mean, you start, like, you know, feeling like, oh, I don't think this guy likes me. I don't think that there's a problem with me, right? There has to be a problem with me, right? Yeah, no. So, before you get yourself into a tizzy, remember, everyone has a life. If that person's not there for you right now, he's going to try his darnest to be there for you then, or later, or any sort of time. Because real life does happen, and especially at conventions. You don't realize this, okay? If anybody here has ever went to a convention, I was just about to say put your paws up, but that would not work because you're sitting at home. So, everybody who has went to a convention has probably told you this. It was busy, it was fast, it was busy, it was fast. Now, busyness comes with everything that's going on. Okay, especially at MFF. MFF is probably the most busiest con that you could possibly think of. If you text your friend saying, hey, meet me down at the lobby, there'll be like millions of people down there, and you'll be trying to like sort your way through, trying to get through, you know, maybe punching the occasional person. No, don't punch the occasional person, please don't. But you realize that this is a big con, so you're not always going to find your friend. And then your friend is, you know, looking through the crowd, and then he spots somebody that he knows, so he goes to talk to him, you know, he has a good time, and then he doesn't really forget about you. It gets caught up into the busyness of the con. And that's exactly what a con is. It's busy. So whenever your friend there is already feeling depressed, already feeling, you know, like he has nobody, and whenever he gets busy, what is he going to do? He's going to feel even more upset, start thinking bad thoughts. So take a step back before you start thinking those bad thoughts. Say, I'm at a convention that is really busy. I know it's really busy, so they're not trying to ignore me. I can't, you know, they're just really busy right now. So don't take it to heart if somebody at a convention can't hang out with you. Don't take it to heart. Okay, I mean, I feel really bad for when I can't hang out with people, but I also do make too much promises. That's another thing. People make way too much promises at cons. And I feel so bad for these people who go out there and they go, oh yeah, I'll hang out with you, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then all of a sudden you only hanged out with maybe 2 of the people that you said that you were going to hang out with at the con. And it becomes a heartache because those people that you can't hang out with, you're going, my God, I didn't get a chance to hang out with that person. I feel really bad now. So just remember, before you start getting into the, oh, he hates me, or, oh, I couldn't get to him, take a step back and realize that everyone has plans. Everyone at that con has a plan. So that's one of the other con blues that you could be experiencing. And a lot of them fall into the same exact category, you know, of either, you see a bunch of people buying dealer's den stuff, and then you look in your wallet and you realize you've only budgeted for the money that, you know, you were just going to buy food that convention. And that gets into your head too, you know, because you're seeing all these people have fun, and you're seeing them do all these dealer's den stuff, and then you realize you don't have money for it. So a lot of stuff can get into your head. So just remember, life will happen. These people are not against you. Just calm down, take a step back, and realize that they are busy. They are, you know, living life to the fullest, and you're having fun too. Just remember, you're at a con. Try to go meet somebody new that you've never talked to before. The best thing that you can do at a convention is go up to people you've never talked to before, that fursuiter that you really like that you've never talked to, and just talk to them. You're at a convention. You're supposed to be socializing. It's a socializable time. So we're gonna see what happens. We're still have the phone lines open. We're still gonna be able to call in. The phone number is it's 1717-839-3684. You can give me a call, and we could definitely talk about it. So now let me just do something here. I see somebody in the comments just writing the same thing over and over again. So I'm gonna have to find my mouse and do this. Let me see here. Ba-ba-dee-boo-boo-ba-doo. So now, guys, now whenever you are doing this too, you have to realize that not only conventions are tough. Like, let's say if you have a huge friend at this convention, or you really want to meet somebody famous. Con blues can hit any sort of way, any sort of time. You could be just relaxing in your room. You can be just, you know, relaxing anywhere, and it could just hit you. One of the biggest concerns that I have whenever I'm in this, I don't know how to do that. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me try to, oh, wait, no, there it is. Okay, hold on. Okay, here you go. There you go. You're added. Okay, so now, sorry guys, kind of like in the middle of just trying to think, do other things on my laptop. It's hard to see in this fursuit. So, con blues can also hit you whenever you're at the very end of a convention. Now, this is a big one. That's why they call it PCD. Okay? Now, a PCD person would have the problems of feeling sadness because you didn't get a chance to see your friend. You know, feeling sadness because the con's over. You had such a fun time. It's a very exciting time. You know, you're at a convention with other people who are like-minded like you. So whenever you're done with that convention, you are going to feel some sort of emotion, especially my very first convention ever. My very first convention ever was AC, and I had a horrible time, but yet I cried on my way home because I had such like-minded people. It's a very fun time. I don't care who you are. You are going to have a fun time at this convention. So PCD is harder to really capture because unless if you've ever went to a convention, you can't really say, oh, well, this is PCD. No, you can't. You can lie about it and say, yeah, I know what PCD is. No. So here's what it is. Whenever you are in the middle of PCD, which is post-con depression, if you don't know what that is, you have to stop, think about all the good times you had, and think about all the good times you're going to have at the next one. 9 chances out of 10, you are going to have a lot more fun at the next convention you're going to be having. So there's conventions, let's say, There's probably about like 50 conventions, 60 conventions now. So whichever one that you want to do is fantastic. It's fantastic. And go to it, have fun. They're like months spread apart from each other. So just look forward to the next con that you're going to. Look forward to the next one. And you could just keep going with that. Just keep relaxing. Keep having a good time. Keep relaxing. Don't get the con blues. Okay? Because if you get the con blues, it's not going to help anybody anywhere to do that. Okay? So just remember, PCD can be avoidable. It really can be. And it's hard sometimes, especially for, you know, like newcomers. Newcomers have probably the highest rate for PCD. So make sure to relax, calm down, and yes. Okay. So now, again, we have the phone lines open, so you can give me a call. The phone number is 717-839-3684. You can give me a call. We can discuss your post-con depressions, your con blues, anything that you want to talk about. We'll give it a talk, and, you know, maybe you can learn some stuff about this. Because it's not only everybody gets it, it's just when you'll get it. That's the big question that I have, is when you'll get this. And you'll get this, I've gotten this, the person who you're chatting to right now online, who's been to a convention, has got this. Even if you've never went to a convention, you've gotten depressed. Because you see all this happiness going on there. You see everything that's going on online, and you're like, man, I really want to be there. And, you know, and these people too, they get depressed because they don't have a fursuit. Okay? That's a whole nother topic that we can have a full on blue fursuits. Because at conventions, you see all these fursuiters, and you see them, and you're like, you're going all crazy. You're going, I want to go to that too. I have to have a fursuit. No, you do not. You do not have to have a fursuit going to these conventions. And I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're going to go to a convention, have fun, and you don't need a fursuit. You don't need a fursuit for any of these kind of conventions. They are made for everyone who has a like-minded like you. That's the whole entire goal, is being like-minded. Okay? So that's why it's so important you try to gain friends here at this convention. Or you try to gain some sort of, you know, like, hey, I just met somebody there. I can telegram them now. I can tweet them. I can do a bunch of other things. Now I can, you know, expand my friend horizon. It's a very key part to conventions. And that's why, one of the reasons why conventions came out, for like-minded people. You know, so... And don't be afraid to talk to people. I know anxiety can have a huge problem there, but just relax. You'll be fine. Fun times will be had. So, phone lines are still calling. You can still call me at 1717-839. Let's hear some of your blues, your con blues, because everybody has had con blues. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You are going to have some sort of con blue out there. So let's take a look at the comments, see if we have any. Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah. Now I am done with college. I need to reach cons so I can go. Very true. If you just went to college and you're going to college, don't go to cons. It ruins it. It really does. It makes it harder for you to, you know, do it. Let's see. Where around the link? I do live around Link in the north. Okay, sorry. I'm just reading people's... They must be having conversations within this chat. Let's see. I hope everyone is having a Ink 2.0 suit. Well, okay, so... suit blues, we can go into a whole nother topic. It can be very, very sad, and it can, you know, really hurt you and stuff like that. Let me just find my cursor here. I got to go to Twitter soon, and I got to start writing some more names down. If you haven't, please go to the link below, go onto my Twitter, and, you know, start typing. I mean, not typing. Start retweeting that tweet. Follow me, and you get your chance to win. We have it at the end of the show. We're going to have a whole entire giveaway and stuff like that. So, couple last things with the conblues, and I think I'm going to end the show around maybe like an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. And we'll keep going. If you want to talk or anything like that, we can talk, you know, have a good conversation. My phone number is still up. It's 1717-839-3684. Hopefully you guys are finding this informational. So please share it around to your friend. Tell them, hey, you know, conblues are hitting me too, you know. Because you're not alone. You're not. And that's what I'm always trying to tell people. If you have had an experience with this, you're not alone. Because there's somebody most likely going to have the same exact experience at the same exact time. Where you can't always do that. And it does get quite sad, you know, that you can't go to these conventions, but you can at least try to talk it out with your friends. So, one last thing about advice on trying to, you know, what's the word? Sorry, conblues. The last thing is don't watch any sort of content on YouTube about it. If it's going on this year, because for some reason, okay, you always get those like couple of people who like go, oh yeah, I'm already done with my editing, let me just put it on YouTube. And then, you know, if you watch that, you're going to cry more. You're going to get really sad. You're going to get depressed. You're just going to feel terrible about yourself. Like I said before, the very first tip I have is, if I can find my phone, is stay off this thing. If you are going to look at Twitter, if you are going to look, go it periodically. Look at it like one or two things. Don't go so fast around it, because you're going to see a bunch of MFF things pop up, and it's going to be even more sad for you. Just don't. Just relax. You can learn about that stuff when somebody comes home and tells you about it. Just don't get into that feeling. Because if you get into that feeling, then you start really making people mad because you're texting them, well, I couldn't go. It must be nice. Ooh. No. Don't say anything to that friend. If one of those rules, sorry, the one rule is if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Just get it out of your mind. Get it out. You know, if you want to write a mean, nasty letter, write it to yourself. Write it down going, well, I couldn't go to a convention. How dare you not be there? Just don't tell the person, because the worst thing you can do is be like, oh, it must be nice. And then the guy's feeling terrible all con. So let me see if we have any other, let's see if we have any other comments, and then we can continue on. Ink, if you want to call in, we could definitely use you. You can talk about your artwork and stuff. Advertising, if you want to. I don't care. So let's see. Truth be told, I was a little sad. I didn't have many people take my pics in my suit this year. I know it seems kind of silly, but I'm upset about that still. Okay, so yes. Whenever you are going to conventions, and you're not silly for saying that, Inktail, you're not. The problem I have is I have nobody following me around with a camera. Okay, now, I can't get, you know, I can't take selfies all the time, and I don't have one of those selfie sticks. This is 2018, not 2010, people. So, let's stop with the selfie sticks, okay? So, the one way, I know I've briefed this periodically, like in a back episode, is get a handler. If you want photos, there'll be somebody out there who'll be nice enough and be like, yeah, I can handle you for about like 30 to an hour. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that big of a, you know, thing. It could just be a small, you know, maybe like 20 minutes, get your photo for a bunch of people, you know, and the conblues can happen like that too, you know. At the end of the con, I always do this, so you're not alone. I always look through my phone and I'm like, man, I didn't get that much photos. And like, only like 3 people took my photo. Like, how am I going to do it? I was in the group photo, but that doesn't count. You can't count yourself in the group photo. Because, see, I like the group photo. Don't get me wrong, the group photo is really nice. It shows everybody who's there. But the problem with the group photo is unless if you're like me, which is yellow, you're not going to see yourself. I mean, you're going to be like, oh, no, oh, shoot, that's not me. Oh, no, that's definitely not me. Oh, no. So, my recommendation to stop the sadness of, saying, hey, I didn't get enough photos, get somebody out there that you know and you can trust to, handle you for a couple of 30 minutes to an hour. That's it. You can even be nice to them. Be like, if you do that for me, I'll give you a snack or give some sort of thing, If they're your friend, they're not going to do it for anything. But, if they're like, oh, you can throw in that little, I'll treat you to dinner or something. Yeah, okay. So, it's not bribing unless if you're, doing something bad. Okay, so I'm going to go to Twitter. I'm going to see if there's anybody new who shared my tweet or anything like that. I know he said he did. So I just got to make sure, and because I have to write it. I got to write it down on a card, and we'll see if somebody else did it. So if I can find, oh, I don't have a mouse. Huh, I'm on my laptop. Okay, so let me go to here. Okay, so we have Sparkly Wolf, who, well, just like my tweet. You can't really just like it. You have to, really, you gotta, really, show some effort. Well, nah, I gotta play by the rules. So we had one person who signed up for it, and I'm writing it down. Give me a second. I can't do that and pause. So I'm ruining the magic. You can sue me later.
1, 2,
oh,
1, 5, 8, 3, 7.
Somebody's
4,
calling.
9,
I can't find my
6,
thing.
9.
Hello. Can you hear me? Are you there? Hello. Nobody. Hey, howdy. Howdy. Is somebody on here right now? Did somebody just call and hang up? It's understandable. Okay. Well, I guess that's done. So, sorry. If you do want to call, please give me a call. Don't be shy. It's okay, guys. Give me a call. I have my phone right here. I'm not going to bite a little. I mean, it's going to be, it's going to be an okay call. Let's just have a casual chat, about anything. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to be, showing this to your mother afterwards or, doing anything like that. You're not going to be in a business or anything. I'm not going to show it like that. So if you do want to call in, you can give me a call. If you do want to retweet my tweet that I just said about and, get more people in here, that's fine too. You can retweet that. Also, we have thumbnail. Okay, so hello, and we'll keep going on here. Let me just, whatever. Okay, let me just put Ave in here. Okay, so I put you as a different name. I know who I'm talking about, so unless if something happens. Okay, so you're in there. You're all good. We're about to give the giveaway. So now, guys, if you do want to call in, just give me a call. Yeah, just till now. So, I didn't even know you could call in just until now. Oh, hey, you can call in. We will definitely, you can call in. You're not going to be, I'm not going to give you a bunch of different questions that you're not going to know, like, what's the capital of, Georgia? Oh, no, not the Georgia, like the United States. The Georgia, so don't be afraid. You can give me a call about your conblues. You can give me a call on this contest too, If you're like, who the heck's this guy giving out free art? What? He ain't doing that. Actually, the person who is, doing, I think Inktail called me in, but he got a little bit shy, and that's fine. You can get shy. I'm not going to hurt you if you get shy. Okay, so also too about conblues. You have to realize that conblues, again, happen with everyone, and you're not going to die from it. You're depressed. Okay, so depression is a hard thing to manage, okay, with conblues. I'm going to talk about conblues until 10:10, and we'll get on with our lives. And then we'll go on to the tournament, whatever. Not the tournament, but the cards. So, conblues can hit you at a con, at a not being at a con, after the con, and surprisingly, conblues can hit you whenever you're not even around the con or thinking about the con. Because eventually you're going to be sad. You know, you're going to look at that and you're just going to be like, dang, I want to be there. So, sorry, Dashing, my response is terrible. My house is in a dead zone. No, don't be in a dead zone. Try to call back. Give me a shot again. You could do it. It wasn't so much as being shy, but the connection failed. No! Can't be that connection failed. No. That's okay. I understand. If you do want to call in and try it again, you can do that. We'll definitely try to get you in. If not, it's fine. It's fine. The person who's going to win is going to contact you. So, I mean, you're going to contact them. I'll tweet you and stuff. I'm starting to get hot. Okay. So, okay, guys. Well, if there's nobody else out there who is going to retweet my thing, I might as well just pull the victor now. And if the person who is doing the free artwork wants to call in, I'm fine with that too. You can call me in. You can call me in right now. My phone number is 1717-839-3684. Con blues. We're talking about con blues, which is just being sad at a convention, being sad at home when you can't go to a convention, or being sad that, you know, something like that story. You can give me a story about it. Also, too, next week we're going to try to move on and we're going to do another topic. I'm not going to be at my house, so I don't know how well it's going to go. So don't blame me if I have some technical difficulties. I'm going to be at my friend Kiba's, and we're going to have a fun time doing that, too. So let's see. I've had a taste of con blues. In fact, that I can't go to cons that hits the hardest. Oh, well, see, that's the problem, too, you know, and that's exactly my whole dilemma.
One, five, six,
here we go, let's try it.
7, 5, 6.
Hello! Oh, make sure to turn off your, my stream.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, good.
So
yeah, I tried calling earlier on my cell phone, so I'm using my house phone.
Yep. Well, that's good, but please turn off the, pause the stream before continuing, because I don't want to hear that echo.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. It's okay, you're fine. You're all good. I just don't want to hear that echo, that's all. Because that can interfere with the mic. Okay. So, you're, Inktel, right?
Yep, this is him.
That is Inktel.
Hi, everyone.
That's the person who's going to give the free art away. I have not had an artist on this show. Well, I don't think I've ever had an artist on this show. So, congratulations for being...
Thank you so much for having me. I've never been on the show before.
Well, you know, how does it feel?
It feels pretty interesting that people are listening to this right now on the internet webs.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, I want to thank you for doing the sponsorship of this free giveaway. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, I can't speak. Do you have any con blues that you want to get off your chest that you felt?
Well, I can definitely tell you a little bit about con blues. Like, I have one great example, like, pertaining toward the whole photo thing you were talking about earlier. It actually happened, I think, like, maybe my 3rd or 4th year of going to Otakon. And that year, I had a digital camera with me, and I was taking tons of photographs.
And that was actually the year that someone decided it was a fun idea to pull the fire alarm during the second day of Otakon.
Yeah.
Like, it was just pure mayhem. Like, there were billions, well, not billions, there were thousands of cosplayers, otaku, couple of furries and everything, all flooding the streets of Baltimore, and we were all, like, everywhere. I got a lot of great pictures in that crowd because of it, and I think that at some point, while I was walking back inside, I must have dropped my camera or something, and I didn't realize it until the very next day when I went into my bag to reach for my camera, and I realized it was gone.
Oh, that.
And it was the very last day of the convention, and I was so upset because I had lost my entire weekend's worth of photographs, and there were some great costumes there, and I had absolutely nothing to show for it. So that last day of the convention was really kind of a bummer for me because I went to con ops to look for it. I looked everywhere I could think of to look for it, but it never showed up, and they never found it.
Well, I mean, that is a real con blues moment. Especially whenever, you know, you take these photos to make you last for, you know, a lifetime. You want to be able to go back on these and be like, hey, you know, there's a photo of me and, you know, somebody who's in anime. I'm not really up to date on the anime swing, maybe Dragon Ball Z, so I really had a good picture of a really good cross-playing Goku. Now it's kind of lost, and it does make you feel sad because you're going through all this convention and you're like, oh, I'm having such a wonderful time. And then one bad thing. I always say at a convention, just like yours, I always say one bad thing can ruin a whole time. So it's usually major things that can ruin a whole time. A minor thing, if you're letting a minor thing get to you, that becomes a problem. Because a minor thing can be fixed in the line of fire. But if it's a major thing, you know, like, let's say, dislocating a leg or doing something stupid like that, it's going to impact the con, and it's going to hurt your feelings about that con, which is unfair to the con, but it's also unfair to you, because you want to have a good time. So that's a very good point. Is there a happy end to this story? Like, did you at least have a good time on your last day?
Well, of course, I still had a great time at the convention, but even to this day, it kind of irks me because I have absolutely no photos whatsoever from that convention. And I can't help but feel like there's a lot of memories I've kind of forgotten about now because of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least you were there, and at least you know what happened. Just be thankful for that, you know? I mean, I know you can't show or Instagram it or, you know, do what all the social media on the interwebs are doing right now. You know,
Yeah, I mean, nowadays you have all these camera phones. It's a lot easier to take pictures and back them up and everything if something bad happens, but...
Yeah, and that's a hard blow. And I'm glad, I'm just glad that it all worked. I mean, it didn't work out in the end for your case, but it didn't like completely...
Oh, no, it did not.
It didn't completely put you in the dumps and you just like kind of went crying about it, you know. And a lot of people would cry about that, you know. I've seen a lot of stupid things cried about in conventions. So, you know, it seems like you did a good job with that. So.
Thank you. Oh, I actually have another example of something that would be considered major con blues.
Okay, go ahead. Fire.
Well, like, I suppose another good example of con blues would be, like, if there was a panel or something that you were really looking forward to, or a workshop, and you try going to it only to find that it's already been filled up by the time you get there, and it was like the one event you were looking forward to all weekend, and all of a sudden you can't do it. That is definitely, that can definitely cause some major convention blues for someone. Like, I remember me and my sister, the one year we went together to Otakon, there was going to be this whole Phoenix Wright mock trial thing, and we were so excited about it. And then when we got there, we found out that not only that people had been lining up since 10 a.m. in line to wait for it, and we did not get in, and I was so bummed out by that.
Okay, so that brings me up to my one example of conblues, is being busy, you know, and that's a perfect example about being busy. You know, at a convention, you don't think of time. You know, if you're one of those people that go out there and go like, oh, 10 o'clock I'm going to do this, and 11 o'clock I'm going to do this, and, you know, at 12 o'clock I'm going to go eat, and then, you know, you're not going to be able to do all that. And that's why whenever I go to conventions and I do all this stuff, because I've learned from experience, because I had the same exact problem with you. You know, I went to a panel, couldn't go, and I'm like, oh, I really wanted to go to that panel. I felt wanting to go to that panel, and then all of a sudden I couldn't. A perfect example of just being busy, number one. And if you do ever want to go to a panel again and you're like, I know I'm going to be a little bit late, you know, try to just calm yourself down. You know, there's always next year, or there's always some sort of recap to it. So you might be able to even like kind of have a panel that's similar to that. Like, there's people that go out there and then they go, oh, I didn't get the fursuit making. Well, then there's I know at MFF there's like 4 different ones that are kind of like the same as fursuit making. There's like one for sewing, there's one for fursuit making, there's one for fursuit crafting, and then there's one like for another one. So if you have any like extended questions, you can always go to another panel, because maybe they're having the same exact thing. So, but that's a very good point. That can really ruin a con, you know, if you couldn't go to the one panel that you were planning on going this whole entire time. So, very good point. Very good point. I would love to stay and chat more, but we got to get to this contest. But tell me a little bit about your art. What kind of art are you going to do for these people if they do win?
Oh, well, I was actually going to leave that more up to them, since, like, this is my first time ever doing a contest like this. But, like, if they have any, but maybe if you want me to do this again for you, we could maybe put up some sort of theme or something. Like, for example, like, my character is sort of a plushie character, so maybe I could try drawing them as a plushie character or something, or maybe do something like around Halloween, do a Halloween costume or something.
Okay.
But this time around, I'm going to leave the prize up to the winner to discuss what they want. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, do you want to be here for when I announce the winner?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So, let me see if we have any more retweets. No, we're not going to have any more retweets. Okay. So I'm going to dig through this. I'm going to pick 2 different winners. So, if one winner doesn't get back to you within, like, let's say, like 3 or 4 days, we'll just move on to the next winner. Does that sound fair? I feel like that's fair.
Okay.
So, hopefully, you know, we'll get to this. So, winning prize. The grand prize of winning ink. Is it Inktail? Okay,
sorry,
well.
I was trying to do a drum roll.
Something like that. Okay, so here we go. And the winning prize to the one person who has won the contest and will be receiving free art is Chipper. Yeah, Chipper. Congratulations, Chipper.
Yay!
She's probably not watching this, but congratulations wherever you're at, Chipper. You've won the prize to the lovely art styles of Inktail. I can't think of the name. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull a second one for the, you know, if that person decides not to hear back from it. So the next one,
the runner-up.
Here we go. The runner-up is actually a person who's actually watching the live stream. Is an Eve. Eve? I cannot pronounce your name, dude. It's Eve. It's my person that is just literally messaged the last time. So he's the second runner-up. So if Chipper doesn't get back to me, you've won, Eve. or Avery, I think that's what his name is. I can't pronounce names. Woo! We are here. We did it. Let me put on my pause so I'm not ruining the magic. Yeah. So, thank you guys for participating in our free art challenge. If you didn't retweet the tweet, there will always be next time. We will have different art challenges within the months. And if you want to support me in Patreon, we'll have even more of this. So, go down to Patreon and support me.
And if you wanna maybe help support me, maybe retweet my artwork, or follow me on FA or Twitter or Instagram or whatever you want.
Follow him. It's at Inktail, right? INK.
Yeah, at Inktail on FA, and it's _ink on Twitter.
Okay, well, you heard him here. That's the artist who's giving away the free art. So, thank you. I want to say thank you, Inktail, for being on the show. At least, you know, I get the artist who is going to do the art for the free artwork. And thank you for
thank you very much. I had a fun time being on your show.
Well, no, thank you. Thank you for all the blue contails and the sadness that it brought. But, you know, I know a lot of people out there are sad about that. And, you know, conblues can really hurt you.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'm going to sign off. But thank you again. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Inktail. Okay, well, I think since Inktail is out of here, for the runner-up, I will give the person who actually won the won the thing, 3 days to respond. If that person does not respond, Avery will win the champion. Why do I keep saying championship? Won the, not the raffle, but the thing with the things and the things. The drawing. There you go. I think it's a drawing. A raffle is whenever you pay for it. Whatever. Okay. So, guys, thank you for watching the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. I will return next week, hopefully Sunday. And, guys, just remember, if you're like this, tweet it. Press that like button. Press it harder than you've ever pressed it. Press the like button! No, I'm kidding. I just felt like doing it. Also, tune in for next week for where I'm at a different location. And as always, thank you for watching the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. This show has been brought to you by me. I wanted to say that. But, yeah, this show is really going well. Hopefully everybody enjoyed today. And as always, I hope you have a dashing night. Bye. Thank you for watching the Talking with Dashing Foxie show. And I hope you don't have con blues too. Bye. Thank you for watching. Where's my cursor? There it is.